Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment of the Township of Union, which is being held pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Law, C-231, Laws of New Jersey, dated 1975. Notice of this meeting was advertised in the local source, the newspaper of record, and notice has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building adjacent to the municipal clerk's office. Roll call.
Mr. Wiley.
Here.
Ms. Martins.
Here.
Mr. Bentavegana.
Here.
Ms. Scott.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. McNeil is absent. Mr. Graves.
Here.
Ms. Ricketts is absent. And Mr. Champy.
Here. There being a quorum present, this meeting is now declared open. Mr. Manguso, at this time, are there any communications?
There are no communications at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Hearing none, our first order of business will be the approval of a resolution for calendar number 3461, Rarocook Union LLC, located at 2343 Morris Avenue, Block 4303, Lot 21.01. Applicant wishes to construct an indoor playground facility for children. At this time, board members, you've all had a chance to read the resolution. At this time, are there any members that would like to comment, make changes, or modifications to this resolution as it has been written? Hearing none, may I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board adopt this resolution as written and as accurately memorialized in previous finding of this board.
Second motion?
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Graves.
Yes.
Mr. Champy.
Yes. Continuing with tonight's meeting, our next order of business is calendar number 3462, David Pereira, located at 2775 Meister Avenue, Block 3610, Lot 1. Applicant wishes to construct an accessory structure and lot coverage. Mr. Hale.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Stephen Hale, representing the applicant, David Pereira. And thank you for your time and coming out tonight, as always. So, first, I would like to say we did receive the reports from police, no comment, fire department, no comment, and we have the Collier's review, which essentially notes what you noted, Mr. Chairman, the variances that are being sought. I just want to give just a brief background, and Mr. Pereira is here and would like to, after we have our engineer testify as to the plan. We recognize he's got a beautiful home at this location. He did obtain permits to put in a pool, which was installed, but then, and it's recognized and acknowledges that certain improvements were done without proper permits that caused the increase in impervious coverage, which we'll have a plan from our engineer showing a significant reduction in that, and also the installation of subsurface detention to address that. In addition, and I did have an opportunity to speak to his neighbors who are here, that there's an encroachment on their property along the driveway area, and it's acknowledged based upon the survey that was done by EKA that encroachment will be removed and no longer encroach on their property. And the third item, which causes this front yard setback and the side yard setback, is it's called a garage, but it's really a pool house type structure. Again, it's got a beautiful pool in the back, and then this structure houses the equipment and the like, and a little changing room, etc., for the pool. It's unique in that it's a corner lot, so therefore corner lots are encumbered with the requirement of 2 front yard setbacks. So you have the setback, because you have both Pinewood and Meister, so you have to comply with both. This is towards the back of the property. It's not invasive to anyone, and it's got some nice landscaping in front of it. I see you've probably been by there. And not that there's an excuse for installing it without permits and approvals, but we feel that the location isn't a burden on anyone in the area, and I think you'll hear from Mr. Pereira, his neighbors, enjoy coming over with his kids and family and enjoying the beautiful yard that he put in there. They now in Union for quite some time. Kids are in school and all. So that's an overview of the application. Mr. Chairman, and what I'd like to do first is to call upon
Well-
Jeff.
Excuse me, Mr. Howell,
Yeah.
I would just like to add something.
Sure.
You said that your applicant didn't get the permits. I want for the record to reflect that the applicant was told on numerous occasions, starting with a denied zoning application, that the stuff that he wanted to do wouldn't be approved, and went along and did it anyway. And there were fines in municipal court that were administered that he paid and was, I guess, found guilty of. He pled guilty to for certain things. And so it's not that he didn't know, he knew. He knew before he built some of this stuff that it wasn't acceptable. And we do have, I don't know if council will direct me, but we do have some violation notices that were sent out and stuff like that. So it was pretty much done anyway, after told you can't do it.
Well, I did mark A1 as the application as it was submitted by the applicant, and A2 is the EKA site plan that's presented in support of the application. What I did is I marked, and the board has in its packet, T1 for township, the notice of violation it's referred to by Mr. Manguso, which he can authenticate, which includes photos and details about the particulars. I guess as far back as 2022 when all this started, and that
Yep.
zoning application that he references was before him. So that is part of the record as well. So I got A1, A2, and then T1. There was someone that submitted a narrative to me. I have it. We did not supply it to the board. There's apparently a member of the public here tonight. They can authenticate that when the time
Sure.
comes. You know, Mr. Hale, that's the process. So I did not mark that yet. I mean, if he wants to authenticate it when he comes up.
Okay, great.
So that's what we have in the record for now. And the notice of violation package, as Mr. Manguso referred to, it has a number of photographs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 photographs of the work, I guess as it existed at the time of the court proceedings. So I know Collier's also does not reference the size of the shed. We call it a garage, or you can call it a pool house. I think the way Union governs it, it's a shed or an accessory structure. 10 by 10 is permissive. It's 3 times that size. So another variance, I believe, and I would submit, is the size of the accessory structure, whatever we call it, is too big, and you would need an independent variance.
Well, according to the zoning application, it's considered a she shed. That's what it says on the thing with the countertop. And that was denied on 12/1/2022.
And that was at 300 square. I mean,
And that's, the height was 10 feet, the length was 20 feet, and the width was 10 feet, made out of wood, and that was denied.
so not only is there variances for the location of that structure, even if it was at a size that the town recognizes, you have the setback issues, as you pointed out. So that's an additional variance, I note, for the board's edification, for the public, and for the record. So
Okay, great. And I was advised of all the municipal, I didn't handle the municipal court. Jeff Cohen from Union, the attorney, handled that, but he did share with me all of that.
Okay.
As did the applicant.
So noted for the record.
Right. Thank you very much. So I'd like to call upon Jeff Kadoff from EKA to take us through the plans, and he'll also describe the plan that shows the reduction in the impervious that's proposed.
Can I ask the witness, this is Rob Pansul, the board attorney, to swear or affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
And for the record, if you could state and spell your name with your affiliation.
Sure. Hello? Okay.
You could take the
Take
mic
that
out.
out, or-
Take the mic out.
Okay, that's much better. My name is Jeffrey Kadoff, C-A-D-O-F-F. I'm a professional engineer in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And I'm working
Yeah,
with
if you could give
EK
the board your credentials, please.
Okay. I have a bachelor's in civil engineering from the University of Pittsburgh. I've been practicing for roughly 30 years in site design and other civil works. And I've appeared before this board, although not.
The board will accept his credentials.
Thank you.
Thank you, very much, Mr. Chairman.
And,
You're qualified.
okay,
Okay.
wasn't sure if you wanted something else.
No, we're good there. And
Let me put this here.
so if you could take the board through the plan showing existing conditions, which is essentially the proposed plan, but as we discussed this afternoon in our preparation meeting, we do have a plan that now shows the reduction in the pervious coverage, the installation of subsurface detention, and Sal can probably help you here.
Yeah,
Put up the exhibit.
I'm messing it up, I know.
There's a mouse right
Yeah.
Oh, God forbid I should see the mouse. I put my water next to it, though. All right. Okay, so. This is not my. Sorry. So.
You're getting there.
Yeah, apparently, slowly. All right.
And if it's an exhibit that was submitted already, which I believe the plans were, just identify the page, because they've already been submitted to the board, and Mr. Pansula marked them as A2.
All right, so we have. I had it a second ago. On this, we have the, so title sheet has our various variances listed, which are, I'm gonna have to read off this because I can't figure out how to get this out. Can you, how do I get that to go big? I hate to say it, but every one of these is different. Yeah. Oh, geez, that's so easy. My bad. All right, so. And then we're gonna go this way. All right, so can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right, so we have a lot coverage variance. 60% is the requirement as a max. We have 72.9% currently. Side yard of 3 foot, we have 1.85 foot currently, and distance from street of 25 feet, and we have 12.94 feet. Those are the 3 variances, other than the accessory structure size, which was mentioned a moment ago. Okay. So those are the variances. That's basically what's on the title sheet. We also have a listing of the neighbors, some general notes, and our title block signatures and the location of the site within town. Okay. The second sheet here shows the existing conditions in a survey and the various areas of concern. Okay. We have don't see the sheet submitted today.
That should be another exhibit.
Ah, there we go. So we're going to have to go here. And that is called coverage reduction.
Just so we're clear too, there's a side yard issue for the shed. As I understand the record, there also is a retaining wall or some kind of structure
Correct.
that is along the borderline, which actually is on the neighboring property. So that's another variance, a separate variance
Yeah,
for that structure, as it were,
Yeah.
independent. So I know the Collier's letter is not necessarily all-inclusive. It's a guide for this board. I, as the lawyer, picked up on this and make it a part of the record tonight.
Yeah. And I did, as I said in my opening, that will in fact be removed.
Okay, just so we're
Yeah.
clear on
And
what
that
we're
shows-
considering, though.
In fact, while they're looking for it here, I can mark this as A3 and perhaps pass it around. I don't know if Anthony shows the removal of part of the impervious and removal of that encroachment.
All right, so that's what's on the note that you're seeing here. Existing wall to be removed and relocated 6 inches from the property line. That would eliminate that variance, which is why we're not showing it. We're also looking at removing 143 feet in this area, 143 square feet of existing pavers. We're proposing the installation of a dry well that will have this shaded area of the roof going down to it, and the intention being to reduce the runoff from the site in that way. These pavers here would be removed and grassed, and some pavers along the back, along Pinewood Road, would also be removed and landscaped as well. Okay, so that total removal of pavers reduces the impervious coverage from the existing 72.9% to 66.6%, and the addition of the dry well is intended to offset the remaining 6.6% of impervious coverage increase.
And that dry well has been adequately sized. I know it would have to be reviewed by the engineering department.
Correct.
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
So I have a zoning application from 2020 and it says a she shed. Now I'm looking at a framed garage. Is it, what are we calling it? And you're referring to it as a pool house. Is it the garage? Is it a she shed or is it a pool house?
It's
I'll let you.
honestly, it's a pool house, which someone might refer to as a she shed.
But are we in agreement that it's not a garage?
It's not a vehicular garage. No.
Okay, so we mislabeled that.
All right. And the honestly, I think that's about it.
Obviously, if the board were to act favorably at all on any of that part of the application, that would be subject to engineer and Collier's review. You still have a slight variance off the requirement, or lesser of a variance, I'll say. But basically, what you're offering is to be conforming, as opposed to the 70-something%, which you did without approval. So that either way, I mean, that would have to be remedied, one way or the other. I mean, you're still seeking a variance, but a lesser variance.
Correct.
Still
Okay.
seeking a variance, lesser variance, with the intent that the dry well would ameliorate that variance.
I understand.
And if the board was inclined to grant the variance for the reduced impervious, we would certainly make it subject to review and approval of the dry well and drainage by Colliers.
Let's see what the board,
What's that?
But at the Colliers before
I agree.
we can make a decision on this.
Yeah. Well, we just received, and granted, you know, we only received the Colliers letter, and we didn't know that they were actually going to doing a review, but there's no problem in having that reviewed by Colliers.
well, there's really two aspects. You have the impervious coverage, which is a drainage issue, which, as I understand, was one of the complaint points from the neighbor, was the impervious coverage and the fact that there's an issue now in their property. So that's part one. And then part two, is Mr. Manguso has referenced twice, is the size of this structure and why it's there and why it's so big and why it was done without permission. Well, we know it wasn't done without permission, but how do we justify? Are you going to be offering testimony on what's proposed to be done with that? Because that's really a separate part two.
Our client, who is here, will discuss
Because if
that.
the size of the shed was to a size that is recognized in the township, that might be grass or landscape that would alleviate the need for any variances if they were to follow the pattern of the rules as they existed. So that's why we're kind of, I am perplexed. I don't vote, but I'm just trying legally to make sure the board understands what it is we're trying to consider tonight. There's a lot here. It's pretty dramatic in terms of the variance relief. I know it's not a use situation, but that structure, and Mr. Hale, I don't know if you saw the photos, maybe we have a copy that Mr. Manguso had in his investigative file. It's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, I've seen this, I've seen the photos, and I've been by the property, obviously.
You're not going to offer any testimony on the bulk variances for the shed, or for the pool house? Let's call it what it is.
Well,
for the
I
pool
think
house.
what we do is we'd call our client up first and let him explain a little history
Okay.
of that, and then we can recall Mr. Kadoff as needed.
Bless you. At this time, are there any board members that would like to question the testimony Mr. Kadoff has provided? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to question this witness? Now, it's just what he testified about, not a comment that you like it or you don't like it, just what he stated in his testimony. Come up and state your name.
Good evening. My name is Arthur Shafiq,
Could
Okay.
you spell
you're-
that, please, for the record?
Arthur, last name Shafik,
Thank you.
Your address?
2771 Meister Avenue. My first question is, what specific calculation method did you use to determine that the dry well offsets exactly 6.6% of the impervious coverage?
We haven't completed the sizing yet, so I have to do, we're looking to get it approved as a concept and then to size it.
My second question is, did your analysis account for saturation during consecutive storm events?
The analysis, when it's completed, will comply with the ordinance and the requirements thereof.
My third question is, can you confirm whether the dry well's performance was modeled using local rainfall intensity data?
It will be. That's a requirement.
And also, was a soil infiltration test conducted at the exact location of the proposed dry wall?
As I stated, you're asking design questions is something that I've stated we haven't completed the design of yet, but that these things are done for that.
And then finally, my final question is, does the dry well design meet the municipal or NJDEP standard for long-term stormwater retention?
It will meet the ordinance as stated in the engineer's letter, 1710, and what that requires will be done.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the public? Hearing none, Mr. Hale, your next witness.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kadoff. Yeah, I'd like to call the applicant, Mr. David Pereira.
This is Rob Pansul, the board attorney. Can I ask the witness to swear or affirm that any testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
And for the record, could you state and spell your name?
David Pereira, last name Pereira, Pereira.
And Mr. Pereira, you're the owner of the property, obviously?
The property is under my father's name,
Your
but I
dad, yeah.
currently reside there. I bought the house under my father's name.
Okay. Now, obviously, you're well familiar with what went on at the property. You've heard the testimony this evening. First, are you committed, and we work together, first to remove the encroachment that is on your neighbor's property, the people that are here this evening?
Yes, from day one that I realized that it was over, committed to removing it. I just wanted to make sure that I know exactly what to remove and how to remove it and when to remove it.
And you've had an opportunity to review, and I don't know if we marked, that exhibit should probably be A3, Rob. The plan that I gave to Anthony that,
We marked it A3. I did note
good,
it.
okay.
I noted it for the record. I don't have a copy of it
Great.
yet.
Are you committed to also remove the impervious coverage in accordance with A3 that was identified by Mr. Kadoff?
Yes,
Okay. And also in accordance with the questions from both the board and your neighbor, that, and also indicated by Mr. Kadoff, that if the board was to approve the increase in impervious coverage, that you would make sure that the detention system is in accordance with the township standards and reviewed by Colliers Engineering?
Yes, of course.
Okay. All right. Now, focusing on what's been described as a garage, pool, pool house, shed, just give us a little background on that. And we know that you obtained the permits and approvals to install the pool. Tell us a little bit of the history.
So I've been working since I was 13, saved money, and at 37 years old, I was able to buy my first property, which is this property. Just welcomed our fourth child. So we have 4 kids, me, my wife, and my 4 kids, and I wanted to make a resort-style home for my kids. You know, when I was younger, you know, I'm not saying that I got into a lot of trouble, but my father always told me the reason why you get in trouble is because you never want to be home. I want my kids to be home, so I have an eye on them. My kids go to school here. My son, Pop Warner, getting out at 8 o'clock for Union Rams. My girls cheer. I'm in the community. I was at the football game on Friday. When I did this, I was doing it for them. I don't go in the pool. It's literally just for them. This is my forever home. When Mr. Manguso said that I didn't apply for permits, I did. I did apply for the she shed. Again, I've never done this before. I didn't know what I was doing, so I applied for a she shed because I researched it, and that's what it said it was. It is a pool house. It's a place where my kids, where we could eat together without being in the sun. It's their Acapulco. They love it. I'll remedy whatever I have to be compliant as much as I can. But in no way, and as Mangus said, I didn't put the permits, I did. And I waited almost 6 weeks. And I was able, at that point, I figured it was taking long. I guess I jumped the gun. I started a little too early. And that's it. And I feel like the building department took it a little personal that I was doing whatever I wanted. It was never my intention to do that. But everything I built in that home for my kids. And I'm willing to do whatever I have to keep the property as close to perfection that I feel like I made it for them. We're in town, new family. We're a family of 6 now. We're not going anywhere. We don't want to go anywhere. We like it here. And I put every penny that I had into, I'm looking at it and it's giving me tears just looking at my property. Every penny. I've never had anything like this. So I take great pride in what I have. And that's just a little story about me. And I'm getting a little emotional because, you know, in your hands, you guys hold the power of literally taking what I built for my kids away. And it gets a little emotional for me. And that's it. That's just a little story about myself. Local business owner, local business manager. I run it with my father, small little trucking company. Very small, 3 trucks. And that's it. I didn't mean to disrespect the board, the town, or the building department in any way, and if I did, I apologize. And that's really all I have to say.
And I know with respect to the structure that's there, in addition to creating this structure, you also did, and I indicated in my opening, provide landscape buffering.
I
You have a
did
fence, and I
on the
think so-
side of the fence where this. it's
You
not
need the
a
microphone.
garage.
You're going to have to take,
Sorry, it's a pool house on the left side on Pine.
you might be able to,
Can I take
you
this with me?
you could do that, or you might be able to use the cursor on that.
On this area right here, on the left side of Pinewood, where it says frame garage, to the left of that, there's 9 not cherry blossom trees. They're, sorry, I forgot the name of it. In the springtime, they bloom pink. They're beautiful. And this frame garage, it's not a frame garage. It's got gutters all around it. So all the water that goes on top of that, all gutters into those trees and those landscaping. And the reason for it was because I forgot the gentleman's name, the inspector that was there. I believe his name is also Anthony. He told me that you might have a problem here with impervious coverage, and that's why I did it like that. Everything I did, all this was already basically here. It was just, if you look at 2017 pictures on Realtor, you'll see it was just broken concrete that actually was very slippery for the mailman, and all I did was remove and replace with the asphalt and the broken concrete here to the pavers that I had extra from the backyard. Again, I didn't have a lot of money to do this. This took me 2 years to do. It was every little bit that I had. I would make it, put it in, make it, put it in. And that's it. I don't know.
All right. Thanks for that explanation. So, Mr. Chairman, we can obviously recall Mr. Kadoff, but no further questions of Mr. Pereira at this
I
time.
just want to withdraw. This is Rob Pansul. I'm the lawyer. I don't vote. I'm trying to get an understanding, as you heard me earlier. I understand the application and the variances you're seeking. And I'm not going to get emotional. I don't need to. I got to get legal.
Yeah, of course. I
The
understand.
zoning application that I made a part of the record, you went to the zoning office and received that communication back in November of 2022, correct? You were the one who went, or someone on your behalf?
When I put the application in, I believe I was at the office 2 times to find out why the application is taking long, and I believe the ladies at the front desk said it just takes a little long.
Well, I'm going to read from it, because on a week after you went in there, there's a statement on the bottom that says, all work must cease. It says that the architect must provide drawings with accessory structures, and they must submit that to consider it before you build it, not that you just can ignore that and then 3 years later have it
But
built. That's the problem.
That wasn't a week after I submitted the application.
That's dated on December 1st of 2022. You were in there on November 4th, so it was
I was there
3
various-
weeks.
I was there various times.
3 weeks.
May I add some
Now,
clarity?
let me finish it first. Let me finish first. You're the one who went in on that. You ultimately didn't submit architectural plans or do anything to try to advance approval for the structure. You got an approval and a permit for the pool. You have that. There's no doubt about that. The
Correct.
pool is proper. Its setbacks are proper. With the way it was proposed in the permits for the pool is acceptable. We're not even talking about the pool. We're talking about what went beyond the pool, the pavers, and especially the shed, the pool house. I'm going to keep calling it a shed. It's a pool house. That's part of the problem.
Again,
You have to follow up?
I have a follow-up to that. I mean, the building department, has to take every complaint, everything serious. So nothing is personal, I just want you to know that. But when you were denied on, let me just get it, hold on. When you were denied on 12/1 of 2022, okay? You were denied, and it said driveway can't be more than 18 feet wide. You've had all of this. Do you acknowledge that you got the zoning? Or no, you're going to say you didn't see that? Because you've been to court. We can always get the court transcript.
I've gotten a lot of paper
Okay.
over the last 3 years.
All right, no, and understandable. So
And
my
I've given
point to you is, this is my point. So my point to you is, my inspectors went out there, they saw things, my signature's on everything, okay? So it was denied, and then you were given a reason why it was denied. And you were denied on 12/1, 2022. You submitted this on 11/4/2022, okay? So yes, it was about a month, a little less than a month, that it was going back and forth, and we saw that there was problems as per what you did. So now, the picture that I'm holding was taken on August 4th. That she shed was not built. I'll be more than happy to provide this. So knowing that you weren't allowed to do it, you still built it.
The year after that?
8/4 of 2022. So that summer,
Exactly, and it was.
you built it, but you were denied.
No, but that's from the summer prior to the permits being in? You said
No.
that was in summer of '22, and I
So-
put the permits in '22, December?
My apologies, you have December.
Exactly.
December, you
It
were
wasn't
denied,
built
and
in
you
summer.
built it that spring. You built it in the spring.
No, you said that those pictures are from the summer of '22, and I put in the permits in November of '22, correct?
Correct. You were denied, so, but none of it was there. So, but you knew you couldn't build it, and you went along to build it, is what I'm trying to say.
I built it in the 4 weeks that we were basically in
Oh,
here.
So then,
In terms of the
my
permit.
apologies, that's my point.
Yeah.
So within the denial of the 4 weeks, you built it?
I never built something after you guys told me
Okay.
that don't do it. You're saying those pictures were taken in the summer of '22?
No, I meant to say, when we went out there in the spring, it was taken, it was already built. So you built it, you just confirmed that you built it within the 4 weeks that you were denied. In the very beginning of it,
I wasn't
between.
denied yet. I wasn't denied. I was in the process of, I already submitted the application, correct? It was in the.
So you built it before you submitted this?
No.
You built, okay. When did you build it? Because your application came in 11/4.
So it was during the time, it was built during the time that the application was in your office.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you built it between 11/4 and 12/1.
Give or take
11/4
a
and
week,
12/1.
Give or take a week, sure, yes,
Okay, fair enough.
yes. It was not built after you told me I couldn't do it.
Okay,
That's what I'm trying to say.
okay.
And that's where I feel that there was maybe some miscommunication, that you guys thought that it was, I really felt that you guys, I'm not saying you guys took it personal, but I felt like you guys thought that I was just doing whatever I wanted, although you told me I couldn't do something.
Well, you had
Well, you
a,
have no permit. You had no permit.
you had a
still
permit
did
for
it.
the
Again,
pool.
Mr.
Yeah.
Manguso, it's
You had a permit for the
my wife
pool.
and kids right there.
Okay, you have a permit for the pool,
100%.
and we told you, don't continue with the driveway, and you did, because we had a reason to believe that you were on a neighbor's driveway, and you already built it.
The driveway?
Yes.
The driveway, I was not given an order of stopped until half of the driveway. Half of the drive was already done, and Big Anthony told me, I told him, the mailman almost tripped and got hurt. It's dirt over here, what am I gonna do? Blah, blah, blah. Stop. I came here a week later, and he told me, well, I can't tell you I can't do stuff like that, but I don't want anybody getting hurt. So it was either the mailman getting hurt that delivers my mail every day, or finishing the last 10 feet
Okay.
10 feet of this area so they wouldn't get hurt. I don't want anybody getting hurt either. I understand what you're saying, Ms. Mike. In no way am I trying to argue with you or saying that I was right. I am not telling you. I am not saying that.
Well, I just would like for you to understand that you are held to the same responsibilities of everybody in this town ordinance. And if my guy's doing their job, okay, it's not that we have a problem with anybody. It's that there's ordinances that are followed that everybody has to follow. So they're only doing their job,
I understand.
okay?
I understand.
Good evening, how are you?
Good evening.
Just reading over some of the information that we received, it kind of indicated that your neighbors had had several conversations with you regarding what you were building and how it was infringing on their property. Why would you continue to build and not just come in and have like a sit-down with the building department to see where you could build, how far you could go, versus having, I mean, because I hear you talk about family and you want to be there, and you bought, you built some kind of oasis for your
Yeah.
kids and your family. But if they're a family that's also there, I'm sure they want that same pride and joy for their property and not want to have their neighbor with confrontation. We all want to go home and not be, in dispute with our neighbors.
Correct.
So why would your neighbors have to have that many conversations for you to kind of stop doing what you were doing?
So there is a little wall right here. It's about maybe a foot and a half high, maybe 2 feet. What it does is it separates this property from this property. When I built it, again, I'm not a contractor, So when I built it, I did not know that you have to build 6 inches away from the property line. So what I did was I built on the property line.
But wait, what I'm saying is you had several conversations, so if you didn't know.
But it was-
You keep saying, then why not hire professionals that would know, so that you would alleviate the back and forth between you and your neighbors?
100.
And you and the building department.
I was trying to save money. And I hired guys that I try to save, and in the long run, it's going to cost me more. I understand that.
Any other board questions?
Yes,
Mr. Johnson?
I know you say you built it between 11/4 and December 12. Why didn't you wait for the permits to come back to see if you were doing the right thing or not? You went ahead, according to your statement, you built it after you submitted the application and before you got an approval or disapproval.
Okay, so.
So that's,
Go ahead. Yes.
I don't understand why you didn't wait to find out the right way to do it,
So
rather than go ahead and, within a 4-week period, and just go ahead and do it.
100%. So my uncle works for Ferreira Construction. He kind of knows, and he directed me on how to, who to call, who to do this, building, stuff like that. At that point, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. He said, I got these guys, they're gonna be off this week, and they could get it done right now if you want it. And it was very cheap at that point, and that is the real reason, to be honest with you.
And
I
that's the
said, you know
reason,
what?
and that's the reason you're in the situation you're in
That's the
now,
reason.
because you
Like I
did
said-
everything illegally.
Yeah, just let them finish first, please.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
And I can understand your position, but our position is everything was done illegally between 11/4 and 12/1. Even though you hadn't gotten the disapproval yet, you should have waited. And that's the problem I think most of us have, is we make everyone in the town come before us when they want a variance and get the variance first and the approval, and then go ahead. But you decided you didn't think you had to do that.
Yes, sir.
It's the way it looks. Nothing personal.
Yeah,
you know?
no. There was a lot of things that could have been done different,
Okay.
and I agree.
Mr. Bentavega, did you have a question?
Mr. Pereira, you understand, you keep answering yourself. If you followed the chain of command or we wouldn't be here right now.
I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is if you followed the chain of command, if you went before the building department and got your permits, and when you were approved, started doing your work, we probably wouldn't be here right now.
100%.
So you have to understand our point. You're saying that you have workers that were willing to do it, they were off. It doesn't work that way. I understand, but you have to get approval first and then you go. So that's what we're looking at here. It's almost that you just went ahead and figured, let me try to do it without getting, someone getting caught or something, and it
Well,
kind of.
I didn't, to reply to that, I didn't try to do it without getting caught. I believe I was, at that time, I believe I was doing the right thing by putting the permits in. So it's not like I just did it and didn't put permits. I mean, we have proof that the permits were in before it was built, so I did try to go the right route. I guess, like I said, I just jumped.
Right, you also understand, it's not one, you have several, stuff that's not approved. It's not one thing that you did. So, you have the driveway, you have the shed,
And the size of the shed, which I raised, I mean, that's something that
Correct.
you really haven't testified to this. I mean, people have pools that don't have pool houses. If a lot doesn't allow you to have a pool house. I mean, people can have a pool without a pool house. That's self-inflicted, and it sounds to me like what you did suggest is your uncle, who's in the business, helped you and saw a window to build it. If he's in the business, then he should know you shouldn't build that without permits. That part is easy. And if
He
there's
really-
fault to be imposed, it's not on the building department, it might be on your uncle, if that's what he told you he could do.
Mr. Pereira, what were you constructing in the spring of 2022?
It's hard for me to.
All right,
think.
because I have a letter here from Mr. Sharif,
If I see.
and he tried to discuss this in a friendly manner, beginning in March of 2022 and April of 2022. But his concerns were disregarded. I mean, you don't remember what you were trying to construct in March and April? Before any of this, because you submitted the application on November 4th, but this was 7-8 months, construction was going on 7 or 8 months before the application was submitted, right?
That was the pool.
That was the pool,
That was
okay.
the pool.
Okay, and you did get permits for that?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Any further questions from the board?
I just have one question.
Mr. Graves?
What is that, the birds, rabbits, what is the cages for?
I'm sorry, which cages?
You have, there's a diagram on 8-4, It appears to be a cage for rabbits or birds. What is that?
My wife is listening now. You can tell her to get rid of them. It's for her pet rabbit that she has that I can't stand to see anymore. She's right there. You can tell her to please get rid of them.
Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Ms.
So I also see here in the packet a complaint in regards to a cement slide that was ruining the fence. Was anything taken care of with that?
Yes, the fence was now the slide and water feature that's there. It was shaved off. It's no longer touching the fence, and also a panel was replaced on the neighbor's fence as well for damage that was caused during.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want to make a comment on that?
Wait.
Okay. Mr. Sharif.
Again, my name is Arthur Shafiq, and I'd just like to ask, did my father not communicate to you while we were discussing the damage to the fence that also, due to the construction, it bulged inward onto our property, and therefore the fence is still to this day bulged? And after he explained that to you, and you had replaced the panel that was broken, you said, I don't want to deal with this anymore, and then said, talk to my lawyer?
Basically, your father and myself, we kind of fell out of it for a while. Even while the construction was going on, your father complained about the dust dirtying your home. When there's construction, there's dust. I try to do the best I can. There was a problem with the panel. The panel that he was complaining about that was broken, I've lived there longer than you guys. That was already broken from a tree that came down a year before that in a storm. It wasn't the construction guys, but I still replaced it. I felt like I did everything that I could to try to alleviate your concerns in any way. You guys wanted the fence fixed, no problem. I fixed the fence. If there was another part of the fence to be fixed, I would fix the fence. I shaved off the water feature so it wouldn't indulge in your property. This wall that's in question now, again, I've never said I'm not going to take it down. I'm going to take it down. And that's it. Any other questions?
Just, again, you implied that you fixed the fence, but I'm informing you again from multiple times that there was a bulge inward caused by the construction that still exists to this day that we informed you about that you decided not to take action on.
So the way your fence is built, whoever built the fence prior to that did not put four-inch wooden posts. It's just vinyl. So you know it, right? When you touch your fence, it just moves back and forth. Where my fence has wooden posts and it doesn't move because I believe that it was constructed the way I did it. But again, if there is damage to your property, I've never said that I haven't. It's just I believe that the relationship between myself and your father, it stopped. There was no communication anymore. We see each other in the driveway, we don't even look at each other, and that's what it is.
Do you think it was unreasonable of my father to ask that the fence just be returned to its original condition prior to when you started construction up to the fence?
Absolutely not.
So why would there be the falling out when that was all my father has asked of you? Or did he ask anything that is outside those bounds?
Did he ask anything outside? Because we were in the process of this, I don't know how this was going to work, and I believe that I fixed it at that point. Did you see me fixing the panel?
We told you multiple times while you were doing certain fixes and after that there was still damage to the bulge, which you chose to continue to ignore or disregard.
Yeah, we're here to find a way to settle this between neighbors, board, union. I don't want any problems with my neighbors anymore, and I don't want any problems with the town anymore. Whatever has to be fixed will be fixed. I can put it in writing if that has to be done, and that's it. There is no buts. You're absolutely right.
You also mentioned in your testimony that all that border wall is just a separation and nothing else of our two properties. In 2022, did you not also expand your existing driveway, which caused the encroachment on our property of the border wall? So you did not expand the existing driveway of the size of what it was prior?
Not towards yours. There was no wall there. There was just cobblestones, remember? It was just cobblestones, asphalt to cobblestones, and the cobblestones are exactly where this wall is now. What I did was I didn't go this way. I went this way. I did not go this way. I went this way. I lined this with this. and before the driveway was with this.
I'd just like to, let you
Sure.
know that, there's a little disagreement there, because I was there with my father when he actually proposed that you go inward on your property, because you have a lot of land there, and not be digging outward onto our side. And you stated, oh, well, you have a tree over there, and you don't want to ruin or impact your tree, and that's why you didn't want to dig on that side. And we had told you, well, we have a pear tree also right here, and the roots were damaged, and it did not bear fruit for the next 2 years after this construction. So
Seems like a lot of fruit. There's deer on my property every day eating your fruit.
this year, thankfully, it came back. But
I understand what you're saying, but in no way I was supposed to build, according to what I know now, 6 inches over from the property line, and no, I built it exactly on the property line. So that's where I could see where you would say, because remember, a 12-inch block is 12 inches, right? So 6 inches and 6 inches.
can you provide any evidence that the building department acted outside its professional responsibilities?
Can I provide?
Any evidence that the building department acted outside its professional
I
responsibilities?
think we have an offer in the record that retaining wall on the side of the driveway is going to be cured, right, Mr. Hale?
Yes.
So the point is well taken, but I think we have it in this record, regardless of if the board gives them any relief, that's going to be fixed. The width of the driveway is another cause for concern legally, as I understand it, so, but I will note for the record, and for your edification, you could tell your dad, I guess, is the property owner, that's going to be cured, and it has to be.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's not even seeking relief from this board for that anymore, if I understand the record. So to that part, we may have to have engineering weigh in, Steve, on the drainage impact and whether you can get a variance for the 6% or so that you're decreasing to. That makes sense, and maybe there's a remedy there for that aspect of the application. As I've said at least 3 times now, that the size of that pool house is a separate animal. I don't, I haven't, the board has to weigh in on that. I mean, I don't see where that could be justified under this record so far. I mean, I'm talking not as a voter, but as a lawyer, so.
I appreciate that clarification, and I just want to also ask then about, because we mentioned like vague comments regarding the fence and doing what's right. So is there also a commitment to fix the bulge that was caused during construction that persists to this day as well?
All things that you have a problem with that were damaged during construction, after to the point that you moved in, they will be remedied.
Specifically the bulge, which we have been
Specifically the bulge in the fence.
Are we committed to fixing that now? Because for the past 2 years, we haven't been, so that's why I'm asking.
We haven't been because I've been in the process of this. I'm trying to just finish this completely. If I have to call guys back, it just costs a lot. I don't make a lot of money.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Shafiq. If you have one more
I just
question?
have one more question.
Okay.
Why did it take you almost 3 years to come in front of this board?
To come in front of this board,
Yes.
I had Jeffrey Cohen as my attorney. I was in civil courts. We kept adjourning for various reasons, and I believe I hired Mr. Hale's services about 6 months ago, maybe something like that. And again, I don't know anything about
Right, so
variances and stuff like that.
so we understand, and then the board understands. You knew if you went through the proper applications and variance, we wouldn't be here right now. You understand that, right?
I understand that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other board questions? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to question the testimony Mr. Pereira has given? Hearing none, Counselor?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if the board would indulge, I'd like to take perhaps a 5-minute break and talk to my client, and
Sure.
his family, and come back.
Sure, we could do that.
All right, thank you. Ready?
You ready, Sal? Mr. Hale?
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Chairman and board members, and members of the public for giving us the opportunity. I had an opportunity to speak to my client, his family, and to the representatives from EKA Engineering. What we'd like to do, Mr. Chairman, is request that we carry this matter. It'll give us the opportunity to meet with Mr. Mancuso and with Colliers, let them take a look at the proposed drainage. It also, I told my client that that there's obviously going to need to be some modifications made to the existing pool house, shed, whatever we want to call it, garage, to address both the issue of the size and the setback. And and even if maybe there's modifications to that, that might even eliminate EKA, both Jeff and Matt indicated, that may actually bring us within the, by reducing that size, within the size of the, or to address the impervious. Another, though, commitment is we're not waiting for action of this board with respect to the encroachment. That's a given, and he's going to arrange for the removal of that as soon as he can line up his contractor. So that's no longer an issue, and we're committed to do that.
So you want to adjourn tonight's meeting?
Yeah.
And you want to,
Hold on,
You
Mr.
have a-
Chairman.
you have a date?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, can you hold on one second? So you're putting on the record that he will fix the neighbors, the encroachment, let's not say the neighbors,
Correct.
the encroachment on the other property.
Yeah.
Okay, so what time frame are we looking at? I'm not looking for a dead, but I don't want it done in the winter, I want it done before. So I kind of think that we should say, okay, it'll be done within 6 weeks, it'll be done within 8 weeks, or 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, or...
Not 3 years.
Yeah. I mean... That's what, yeah, I was just gonna say, okay, that's about
60 days to have that taken.
60 days.
And it's technically not a board issue, but it's a compliance issue for
It's a compliance
the town,
issue.
and we have no
for-
problem committing to that here this evening.
how about the fence? Can you commit to?
He's going to work with the neighbors and resolve
Okay.
the fence issue.
Well, I'll note that for the record, because one of the neighbors came up on the break and has a photograph, and they obviously are here and they want to make a statement. If we're going to adjourn, what I would suggest to the neighbors, and certainly you can ask me questions tonight while we're here, I'm the lawyer, why don't we make sure that those lines of communication are open, and maybe it'll alleviate some of the things. You have the right to make a comment on the adjourned date, for sure. And Sal, in the interim, if you got that photo, we can have the board, it could be circulated to the board and to council, and they'll know what his position's going to be.
And you have my contact information now, so feel free to communicate with our office, too.
I guess we can do that.
He's here, yeah, I think it makes sense to, Mr. Hale, I don't think you have an objection, just to at least give the board the benefit.
No objection.
Mr. Shafiq?
Thank you. And my name again is Arthur Shafiq at 2771 Meister Avenue.
Did you try to submit the narrative that I mentioned earlier, that I had? The board does not have that.
Yeah, we had a
Okay.
prepared statement
Okay.
ready to speak to, and we would like to be able to submit it to the board for just review and for record
Well, since we're
purposes.
adjourning, that was my suggestion. I mean, I kind of tried to summarize what I know your concerns are: drainage, size of structure.
As opposed to reading it, I would just like to submit it if that's...
Well,
okay.
since we're adjourning, yeah, why don't we formalize it and make sure Mr. Hale gets a copy as well with the photo you're offering?
Yes.
And this way, the board will have that in their packets for the next meeting.
Yeah.
And then you can authenticate it and testify. Hopefully, we're going to resolve, I mean, look, the applicant has made some statements on the record tonight. That's all we can do. You know, we can vote, not vote. I mean, we're trying to be amenable. You guys are neighbors. He lives in the town with his family. We need to be in a position to hope this resolves itself. That's the goal, right? We're human beings. We got to try to coexist.
Yeah, and we appreciate the comments that
Yeah.
our neighbor has taken today to try to rectify the situation, but, you know, we're just sorry that this has been dragged out so long and it's taken this many years to begin to hear this
Understood,
type of response.
understood. And you heard the building department had similar reactions to the
That's
time.
why there is some part of a hesitation and a frustration on our end about hearing the proposal for an adjournment, just because we've waited so long for this moment, and been told many times that we could not communicate with our neighbor, and now we're saying, oh, everything we can communicate.
Well, that's why on the
with board.
compliance side, I'm just trying to move this along, I'm not trying to cut you off. Mr. Manguso got the timetable within 60 days to at least deal with that aspect. That's no longer part of the application. That's going to be remedied. Not 3 years from now, not with an open-ended kind of date. Within 60 days is proposed. Otherwise, it'll be a new municipal court matter, and he'll be back in court. I'm sure he doesn't want that. So that's the incentive. That's what we could do as a board, and Mr. Manguso could do through his office. Your fence issue was not before the board, but work with him, work with council. If you can ameliorate whatever problems it's there, that's great. That's how neighbors should, and believe me, I understand your frustration. You heard, I think, board members, certainly Mr. Manguso, not just emotional, it's frustrating, because this is a long period of time to have this fester.
We appreciate that advice, and also if we could, we wanted to, before discussing this photo very briefly.
Yeah, that's what's on the screen, what you were going to email,
Correct,
and it has been.
Yeah, and just comment on the statement that was made earlier regarding the complaints from dust. I confirmed with both of my parents that no one complained from dust. It's unequivocally just did not happen, was false. We don't know why that was mentioned today. And also, I believe that he stated that there was a crack on our fence that was prior to his construction, which my mother, who was home the entire time of that construction work, states that she saw with her own eyes that damage being done, and addressed it with them in that moment. And then besides that, the photo that I have up on the screen just goes to show like physical evidence of kind of like the treatment and like with respect or the lack thereof of our property during this entire ordeal. As you can see, this is the prior driveway before any renovations, and these all are the neighbors' equipment that they had just left passed onto our property for long periods of time without removing it.
All right, well, as I said, though, we're curing that. So that's no longer part before the board. And your statement is part of the record, so the board understands the frustration. That's back from 2022, for sure. So that aspect of the application not only is going to be remedied, I mean, the cleanup part is done, it's already been built, but fixing the encroachment and the variances that were a part of that is something that is going to happen. That's no longer, he's no longer seeking relief for that.
Yeah, and Mr. Pansula, it's only fair to give Mr. Pereira some time to get a contractor. I mean, you know, and to remedy it. So it's not fair for me to say you got a week to do it,
No,
or 2 weeks
course.
to do it. It's not fair.
Of
So
course.
I think that's reasonable.
We've waited several years, so 60 days is nothing, and we would be
And
ecstatic.
he has to take his time and find somebody. He doesn't want to get somebody that's not going to do it right either.
We appreciate that. I have no other further comment or address. I will be providing a statement of a copy.
Yeah, and we will make that part of the record as 01. It'll be both the photograph and your narrative, and we'll provide a copy to council as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a date for the continued hearing of this case?
I mean, Mr. Hale, I'm looking at maybe the 15th
Of October, we're
of
talking.
October. I apologize, yes.
There is a case on there, right?
It is. It is.
I think we're here on that one anyway.
That's what I'm,
Good.
right,
Yeah, that
he's here.
10:15 should be fine.
Is that, okay? Is that okay?
Is that okay with you?
That's fine. Yeah, we're here anyway.
I don't know if we check your app.
So we're going to adjourn tonight's meeting. We're going to have a continued hearing on October the 15th in this room at 7:30. No notice will be given. So can I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Hale, I assume you would waive any time constraints to realize the adjournment? So noted.
May I have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting until October 15th?
All right, Mr. Chairman, yes, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn Calendar number 3462, David Pereira, 2775 Meister Ave, Block 1, 3610, Lot 1. We're going to do it on October 15, 2025, and continue the hearing on that date.
Second motion?
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley?
Yes.
Ms. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Pentavagina?
Yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Graves?
Yes.
And Mr. Champy?
Yes.
Appreciate it.
For the benefit of the public, the meeting will be October 15th in this room. No further notice will be given at 7:30.
I will add too, for the neighbors, please stay in touch with counsel. He gave you his contact information, and you certainly can follow up with the building department. If you don't have the revised plan that was proposed that we marked tonight that the engineers are going to look at, as well as you could be made aware of any other changes that might be proposed before the return date of October 15th.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, there being no further business coming before the board, I move that we adjourn.
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.